Hello everyone, I'm John, Shopkeep Arty, and welcome to our first of what we hope will be quite a few 221 workshops. Why is it 221? Two artists, two mediums, one reference photo. And if you hadn't have already guessed with the scrolling video, I hope it's not too fast actually, it's making me a bit dizzy just watching it, but it is the Sydney Opera House. So first of all, before we even put pen, brush, pencil to paper, let me first of all go to Derric and we'll just get an overview on how he wanted to approach this subject, what he was kind of thinking. Maybe we can just show some sort of prep that he's done, and then we'll go to Alex and do the same thing. So Derric, how did you want to approach this?
Well, I have done buildings. I've done some very complicated buildings. Being an African, I obviously paint animals and bird life, but this is the trickiest animal I've ever had to paint. And it really came as a surprise. And then Alex posted some of her watercolors, which blew me away in their fluid simplicity and how she broke things down to just what was necessary. And it occurred to me, the only way to solve this in my own mind was to break it down, make it simple, not only for myself, but anyone who's following this workshop. The idea is, we don't need to send you home with an excruciating headache and a vow never to try and paint again. I'm going to try and make it, from my point of view, as simple and easy as I can.
Okay, that's great. And Alex, obviously, as Derric said, you had done a few test works and some colourful, some you even got the crackle paste out for one of them. But you, as Derric said, you tried to really simplify the forms and the shapes of the Sydney Opera House.
Yes, quite so. Generally, when I look at any picture that I want to paint or think of something I want to paint, I wonder what it is about the image that I like. And so I basically just go for a few simple bits. And that's what Derric was talking about, that you kind of look for the main features that have drawn you and that make things simple. And if you get those, you don't have to worry about the other details.
Yeah.
So
no.
Just keep it simple is my motto too.
So, and have you got in front of you, have you got some of those first initial paintings?
I certainly do.
So let's just take a look at that and then we'll go and see what Derric has done as well.
Okay, this is the photograph. I printed it off on my computer. And here is a painting that I'm hoping to duplicate first, which was based on that photo. Fairly straightforward and simple. You see the roof lines, purples. The colors are not the same, but hey, it can be any color you want. So we've got a little bit of a bridge and we've got the roof lines, and that's what I liked. So that's one picture. Another one, which I'm hoping, because I'm going to have plenty of time, is something more colorful. This is really out of my comfort zone because normally my colors are fairly compatible. This is a real mix. So we've got some pinks, so we've got some blues, we've got some quin gold, and again, the bridge in the Opera House. It's the same photo that motivated the other painting as well. And then finally, what I looked at, which I will not be duplicating today because it involves crackle paste, was a painting of the Opera House. And then on top of it, I applied the crackle paste. And so if you do see, it's hard to probably tell, but there are little cracks in the picture, which are the result of the paste. So what you've got here is, again, the Sydney Opera House. You can tell with those soaring sail-like features and the bridge behind it. So these are the ones that I had mounted on the website for you, given to you. And I hope to duplicate two of them today.
Brilliant,
We'll
brilliant.
see.
No, they look fantastic. And back over to you, Derric, on almost the other side of the world. So you've prepared yours, which I'll show. Oh yeah. So we've got.
Oh, lovely! Oh, I love it. Love it.
So we've got this picture here. So what did you try and... you can obviously definitely see the sail-like qualities of Sydney Opera House there. What were you trying to capture here, Derric?
This was my first tryout. Alice, you and Alice know that I was once a watercolorist, so the inclination to do washes is always there, and it still is, particularly with my wildlife work. So I had a shot at this, and that's when I ran aground, and I wasn't sure what story I really wanted to tell. Then I went on to this, which, to my way of thinking, now that I look at it, is slightly over-described. If I compare it, and I know comparisons are odious, so I'm not going to compare myself to you, Alex, but basically your flow and softness just made me think you're a watercolorist, or you were a watercolorist. Just keep it very simple. And then what I've done for everyone's benefit is I've broken it down into a kind of a sketch, which I'll use a felt tip pen, and I'll describe why I see a thing in a certain way. And then the last thing that I'll say is, just like writers and poets and orators, artists use the painted word to describe a story. And I had to think long and hard about, having never been to Australia, never seen the Sydney Opera House. I had to think about what I was looking at, what it made me think of, and how I could connect. And obviously the thing that made me connect is the idea of the sails. And it looks like an old 18th century sail ship, quite fantastic, sailing into or out of harbor. And I had to think about it that way. So that's the journey I'm going to try and take everyone on.